Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man, Moray DB. Like, subscribe, share. IG, I got choked up right there. IG, Elephant Man underscore podcast. Facebook / Elephant Man. YouTube, Elephant Man Podcast Network.com. What's going on, everybody? You know what? Blessings to everyone. Blessings to everyone. Boy, it's been a circus. When we try to move on, and more things keep coming up. Blessings to everyone in the chat. You come in. Blessings to you. Man, we try to move on from the Kanye and Kyrie thing, but it just more and more things keep coming up, man. Very, very interesting. Shout out to Pastor Kelly and We Woke Now TV, We Woke Now Ministries. He shared some different things. Even, look, you know it's getting wild when people like Candace Owens say something. This is very crazy. She say something. That's crazy, you know, because she's everything anti. Well, I ain't gonna say she's everything anti-black. I ain't gonna say that. Anti-African American. But she was even like, yo, that's just too much. So I don't know if she's rescinding her information. She's changing her tune. A lot of people are changing their tunes now, right? A lot of people changing their tune, from the owner of the Nets, Candace Owens, to and I'll get into that in a second too. To even Stephen A. Smith. I was trying to find that one with Stephen A. Smith, but it's only showing the first one. I had it on my other computer. He's talking about emasculating and all this old stuff. You know, it's like, nah, Stephen A. It's too late. No, so let's see what's going on. Faithful sister-in-law. Shalom family. Shabbat shalom family. Angie Bowen, peace and blessings to you. Karis Copeland in the building. What's going on, man? Hey, blessing to Sister Shonda too on child number 10. I tried to make the thing, but so much is going on at 10 o'clock. Jason Camford from Baltimore in the building. Blessings to you. Blessings. JT the preacher. Man, we got to get, hey, I was just thinking about y'all too, man. Got to get y'all back on, man. That was a powerful panel that we had on. But let's watch this from We Woke Now video first with Candace Owens and see what she had to say. It's kind of old, somewhat, not really old, but I was asking people, did you see what Candace Owens said, or did you see what Jason Williams said? And they was like, no. So pretty much around our community is circling around, but not everybody heard it. So let's check this out.
Imagine just having shared a link to a movie, even, yes, okay, the movie had some falsehoods. He's acknowledged that. He immediately acknowledged it, which was the right thing to do, that there are some things in here that maybe are not correct. He took ownership over that. But despite doing that, they're just humiliating him. They just want to humiliate him. They want to take money from him, and they want to show to everybody else that we have the full power and control over our players. They're essentially approaching him, pretending that every single word of the documentary that Kyrie Irving did not make, he has to answer for. Could you imagine a world in which everything you watch, right, you are somehow now responsible for every single word within it? Notably absent, by the way, is the press going up to Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of Amazon, who runs Amazon, and saying, hey, why did you allow this documentary to be on Amazon? There's no outcry. There's no everybody delete your Amazon accounts because of this documentary. They are putting this firmly and squarely on Kyrie Irving, which is problematic in the first place. I want to also make it clear that in listening to his words, it is pointedly ridiculous that they would say that he is unfit to be associated with. There was nothing that he said, but I would say that he is unfit to be associated with because he very clearly condemns the falsities in the movie. He says, I do not think this way. He actually calls them falsehoods that are unfortunate, right? He says that that is not what I said. Do not attribute every word in this documentary to what my beliefs are. He also very clearly stipulates to them when they ask him, are you anti-Semitic? He clarifies that he's not anti-Semitic. Now, why is Kyrie Irving saying that? Why is he saying I can't be anti-Semitic? Why is he saying that a couple of breaths after he talks about the Oxford Dictionary? So here is the definition of Semitic straight from the Oxford Dictionary. It's relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. The second definition listed is relating to the people who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. So clearly, what Kyrie Irving is saying, based on that definition, is that he believes that he is Semitic, that he hails from maybe Africa or from Asia, which is what the documentary explores. I'm going to give you my feedback because obviously I watched the documentary after listening to this, right? His feedback is, do not make the word Semitic just about Jewish people in America. It includes a lot of other people, okay? Now, you might disagree with that. You might disagree with the Oxford Dictionary definition, but you can't be mad at him for stating the actual Oxford Dictionary definition.
Have you heard of Executive Order 14067? Most people probably haven't, but it could completely upend American life. You see, Section 4 of this order is set to completely overhaul our entire financial system, replacing our cash currency with a new programmable digital token. This would
Muted. Sorry. She had a lot to say on that, but they put a commercial smack dab in the middle of that. Go to We Woke Down and check on that. But wow, it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. But here's the flip side. I was talking to my wife about this because it's you should put 2 on there. Now, what that mean? The mic was muted. Shalom, favorite sister. Now, shalom, Ninja Firewolf. Shalom, you love Yah. Blessings to you. Shalom. Blessings to you. Who else did I miss? I think I got everybody. But man, go watch it. It's very, very interesting. You know what I mean? The different things that she was saying in there, man. It was just so interesting. But again, it could be a chess move because she's total left. You know what I mean? And so they come. Somebody. I'm sorry. She's total right. She's far right. She's far right. And so how they treating them, how the left is treating them, she come to the aid of it. So you know what I mean. So it could be some other things at play in there. We're gonna see as that goes on. But I couldn't believe it. Y'all. I was just like, wow. Ariel Smith, shalom, family, shalom. Darrell Williams, Shabbat shalom, Mishpah, Shabbat shalom, blessings to you. But I couldn't believe it. Like it was just so wild, man. That she just came to his rescue like that. So I was surprised they hadn't removed it, like they did on the first take one today. That's what I was looking for. The first take is the one with Stephen A. Smith, right? Ninja Firewolf, right? And I think that's when I was trying to look for that video. Maybe that's why I couldn't find it. I only seen the first stance of Stephen A. Smith, like he should this, that, and the other. Dale J in the building. Shalom, Shabbat shalom, blessings to you. You know what I mean? And now, Cats is like, nah, we ain't going for it. I think they want to get to everybody just go back to sleep. Everybody calm down. Put this pacifier in your mouth. Go back to sleep. I think it's too late. It is too late. It's undoable. Right? When you treat us wrong, we don't patronize. Right? They seeing the neutered black athlete for standing for NBA. They see that. They see the buck breaking. They see all of those different things that's being brought up. They see all of those things, right? And so they're like, whoa, we don't want the cat to get out the bag. But the cat then cut the bag open and ran up the street, y'all. It's over with. The cat been gone, all right? So I want to share another video too, but it's you can't reverse this at this point. You can't reverse this at this point. Second one that was kind of interesting is Jason Williams. This is the reason why it said, come out of her, my people. We cannot let an endorsement from a major company silence us against injustice. I'm going to say it again. We cannot let an endorsement from a major company silence us from an injustice, right? We might be first, second generation wealth. You know how a lot of us come from neighborhoods that was dilapidated and tore down. Not I said a lot of us, not all. Then you finally get that NBA, NFL contract or whatever, actor, actress, rapper, whatever, artist. And then they say, man, you're so great. Let me give you a Sprite deal. Let me give you a Gatorade deal. Let me give you ABC Express. Let me give you a Nike deal. Let me give you all these different deals, right? And then you're like, man, I'm winning. I'm blessed. I'm winning. Hey, man. Then something come up. Then it's like you already got a major platform, right? Everybody's following you. Everybody's whatever. You can't say nothing about it. Well, they don't want you to say nothing about it. They want you to weigh it. They want you to weigh. They want you to weigh, endorsement, endorsement, situation. Man, what? And people are quiet. And so people, they see the tweets too. They know that they're on. But I like what Jason Williams said too, man. I'm going to share this Jason Williams one. And then I'm going to read some of these texts in here. But Jason Williams, he just like, man, forget it, man. You know, he just couldn't take it no more. Let's check out what Jason Williams said.
Beings. I think that's important. But life is always about taking a stand and holding principles. So I want to explain what I feel like my stance is as a Black male in this world, okay? And conversations that I've had with my brothers and sisters in the Black community. And I want you guys to empathize with it and hear me on it. So when I hear what Kyrie Irving has to go through in order to be reinstated, I'm appalled. I'm appalled. And let me give you examples of how I feel like we don't have the same energy and hold other people who have dealt with racial tropes accountable. So when Sarah Silverman does blackface, or when Don Imus says nappy-headed hose, or when Howard Stern calls somebody the N-word in the skit, or when Brett Favre takes money from the state of Mississippi, we don't ask them to get sensitivity training. We don't ask them to donate $500,000. We don't ask them to meet with the Black National Caucus. They apologize. And then, you know what? The rest of the world moves on. But what I feel like is happening here, and that's how in the Black community, like we've been told that's how the process works, right? Think about that, Bert. That's how the process works. Oh, somebody does a blackface. Oh, it was a misunderstanding. We got it. Okay. You know, is that person really racist? Probably not. Was it ignorant? Probably so. Okay. We understand it. We move forward. We don't like it. We would love to hold them accountable. But society and having a lot of Black people in positions of power, we don't have the governability to do that. But what we feel like happens with Kyrie is even after an apology, it's not enough. We feel like there needs to be more. And a lot of people I've spoken to over the last couple of days talk about this thing. Older mentors of mine talk about buck breaking. So we talk about tropes. This is something that we feel like in the Black community that happened way back in the day, where if there was a slave that was defiant, right, he got broken in front of everybody in order to show that he was not in a position of power. And that at the end of the day, he had to do what he was told to do because that's what was mandated of him. And there's a bigger situation going on. What's happening with Kyrie Irving? If the Nets don't want him to be there, just say you don't want him to be there. But we should hold everybody accountable, even owners of teams accountable with things that are happening in other countries, i.e. China and Uyghurs and the Muslim genocide that is occurring that we hear Enes Kanter talk about. But we don't keep the same energy for everybody. We pick and choose what conversational points we want to make more polarizing. And I might lose my job. I might lose deal opportunities in the future for speaking out about even the platforms that continue to promote and profit a movie that is considered anti-Semitic to billions of people. They don't have to be accountable. Who is accountable? But we're going to put everything on the shoulders of Kyrie Irving, who, even though he said, I cannot be anti-Semitic because if I know where I came from, stating that he's one of the 4 lost tribes. He's saying that Blacks and Jews come from the same entity. The same thing. But we don't want to understand nuance. We want to be triggered by words, and we like fire, and we like things that are, you know, going viral on social media, and everybody has some kind of hot take, and we're calling people idiots, and we're calling people names because that's what we do. We just destroy each other. I ain't gonna destroy each other, man. I'm not gonna do that. Is Kyrie Irving anti-Semitic? Hell no. Could he have gone about it maybe a different way? That's what I would have advised him to do. But I'm not gonna let you guys sit out here and make this dude out to be like he is a villain, like he is a bad person. He is looking to explore his heritage. Now, you can crucify me if you want. I don't give a damn anymore. It's time for people to start speaking out with nuance and speaking out on the principles they stand for. That's all I'll say.
Wow. You know, and he had, man, Jay Williams, man, that was interesting, man. He said, man, I might lose opportunities and I might lose my job. I'm like, man, he must be real tired and real fed up. And a lot of folk feel that way. You know what I mean? How many people feel that way? Yeah, fair use for real. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play that fair use little video before the next one. But a lot of people feel that way, man. It's crazy. Shout out Kimberly J. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Anybody else? Ophizi. Blessings to you. Shalom. Blessings to you. Faithful Sister, yeah, I don't know if I spoke to you. But this is interesting. She said that. You're right. The awakening can't be stopped. Yes, because the dry bones can live by the power of Yah. Blessings. I'm going to tell you something that's real interesting. Even the dialogue I had, because you know I work at a school, and it's bringing up conversations that was not usually brought up. And so sometimes a students might ask an honest question, hey, are you a Muslim? They see my kufi or whatever, you know. Because, you know, I roll like this in school sometimes, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm not a Muslim, Hebrew. And then, you know what? A light bulb go off and they say, oh, the Hebrew to Negro thing. Oh, now I say, okay. Then they say something like, why? They really want to know why. Like young people don't understand. They don't know what anti-Semitic is. They don't know Sham, Ham, Japheth. They don't know that stuff, right? So they want questions. Now they got questions for me. Like, man, what's going on? Why they treat them like that, right? That makes them search. It makes them dig. It makes them question. It makes them want to read. It makes them want to read. See what you done did? It was dead. It was dormant. And you didn't open up a can of worms with pride, right? Pride and open up a can of worms. And now the cat is out the bag. And now the cat has cut the bag, like I said, cut the bag open and gone. He out of there. He is nowhere to be seen, right? And I don't think it's going. It goes from. So we just got to walk circumspectly, man. The time of Jacob's trouble is at hand, and we're not walking scared. But you know, we just got to pray for our brothers and sisters, but no violence that will occur. Okay, but everybody is upset. They're like, okay, hey, what's the same energy for Brett Favre? You know, why are we not talking about Brett no more? He don't have to return the money. Why are we not talking about Silverman? You know, so that's very interesting that he said those different things like that. You know, the cat is out of the bag. So that's crazy that before that, I walked down the hallway. You know, people cool, you know, but they're asking questions now. Before they wasn't asking questions. Had a whole 30-minute conversation with another teacher, right? So I'm praying to the Most High that he used my words. I can articulate it right because it's so many layers. Where do you begin? Where do you start? Right? They might not understand the Deuteronomy 28 right off bat, right? They might not understand certain things. So I was talking to Elder Lou. You got to break it down. You got to ask the Ruach for a word in that season because you're going to be questioned. You're going to be asked questions, right? Why you believe, what you believe, how did you come to that conclusion? Where is it at in scripture? Or where is it at? Or if some people that don't believe, even non-believers, people that don't believe in scripture say, look, turn on the news, you can see what's going on in real time. Now come on to this book and look how this match with this match with this, And now you can have this dialogue and this conversation. But I like what one person said, or I forgot which live was on. We cannot be salt and light if we're in isolation, if we're in ISO, right? So we got to be out. We got to be about. We got to continue to live our lives. We got to continue to do our thing. These questions are going to be asked, right? So we praying, everybody on this live and everybody that hear this recording afterward, man, what do you tell them? How do you introduce it? You ever peel back some cabbage, peel off a leaf, and it's another leaf, and you peel off some leaf, and it's another. It's so many layers to it, right? And again, he used the foolish things to confound the wise, right? He used somebody, they might not know everything in the faith, but they got a 14 million person following platform, right? And I'd hope Jeff Bezos don't take the video down. I mean, they got other places where they show it. You know, it'd be harder to get. They can't stop it from being sold because it's on the H2N website. But I hope they don't pressure him to be like, yo, you need to take that down. That's hateful and hurtful. It's been up for since what? 2018? You know, so we don't want him to take it down. You know, he's about to do a deal with the NBA and all that stuff. Kwame Yasharal, we will rise, continue to cry out to the Most High. Absolutely. Right? Kwame Yasharal, for real. Stand up, rise up. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, and this is one of the questions too that she asked, oh, Elder Brown, Moray Brown in the building. Shabbat Shalom, brother. Yeah, I'm going to email you, brother. See what's going on. They got that Jeremiah 23:3 conference coming up January the 15th. I'm trying to clear my schedule and get down there. They're going to have Benaiah Israel, Dr. Kelly Richards, Brother Lucas Cameron, amongst many other people that's coming in there. So I'm supposed to be trying to see what's going on with that in Georgia. And I was telling my other brothers that was down there, come on, we might just pull up, brother. We might pull up for real, brother. Shalom. You know, y'all Tyrians spare life and they don't do nothing crazy with this war stuff that we shut down highways and crap. We're going to keep living our lives and doing what we got to do. But I just think it's very, very interesting, man. I just think it's very, very interesting. So, everybody's chiming in on it. So I want to show this minister, and I wasn't going to show the Minister Farrakhan one because, you know, sometimes cats be, but again, he do the foolish things to confront. We just need to buy and download the video so we can have copies. Yeah, Aerospike. We just need to buy and download the video so we can all have copies. Store your video in a non-connected system, external hard drive. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea to do that. Again, Amazon is not the only platform. It's the most affluent and easiest platform. You don't have to search. Because how many people know about the H2N? I mean, now, cats out the bag, they know about the H2N TV. But how many knew about that before then? It wasn't a lot of people. How many had these conversations? Let me know if y'all been having conversations with people coming up to you asking questions, right? All of a sudden, right? I've been wearing what I wear all day, every day. And all of a sudden, I stopped in the hallway and they're asking questions. Very interesting time, y'all. So I asked the Most High to give us what we need. So I'm gonna share just part of the Minister Farrakhan's, and then they had a change of heart too. A lot of folk have a change of heart on there with the Minister Farrakhan. You know, well, not just with him, but Nick Cannon, Candace Owens. You know, so they want you to just go back to sleep. Hey, yo, man, we don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. But it's too late, man. Do you know the buying power of the so-called African American? Man, billions of dollars, right? And so that money, as soon as we get that money, it leaves our community. As soon as we cash our check, as soon as we get that direct deposit or however we get our money, it leaves our community because there's not a lot of African American business. Oh, Pharrell done came up in here. It got Pharrell up in here. Shabbat Shalom, Pharrell. It ain't got it leaves our community. So that was one of the things what I want to say, quote unquote, Black Wall Street, right? If you couldn't go on the other side of the tracks, it stayed in your community, right? It just stayed in your community. So like I mentioned before, the butcher, his money go to the tailor to the shoe shine man to get on the bus driver, he'd take the money and go to the movie, and it will stay in that community and build that community up, right? But now it's not like that, right? With the integration, and I'm not saying we need to be segregated, but I'm saying with the integration, but with no autonomy and no production, we can't support each other. We get the money, boom, it's out our community, out our hands, right? Matter of fact, they got folk moving to your neighborhood and send their kids to a private school, right? It's getting crazy with it, man. Shalom, my brother Derek Farrell. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. You said something about the minister. What was that about? Oh, yeah. I'm going we have to break that down a little bit more. The whole thing with minister, he did a whole hour. I'm not gonna show the whole hour. I'm gonna show some of it. Yeah, and that new thing that Ye was talking about with people being sacrificed and stuff like that, that's real stuff. Fair use, fair use. But before I show that video, let me play my fair use little commercial thing that I got. Oh man, fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Again, fair use. All right, fair use. I'm about to show the Farrakhan one. I don't know exactly what Ye was talking about. I'm about to watch it all again. It's an hour. But I don't know what he was offended about in there. But let's just check it out. The Farrakhan is a minister of Fruit of Islam. We have different beliefs, but he still came to the table and said something. Let's check it out.
He just said he saw something and he put it up. You called it what? A anti-Semitic trope. The movie is almost a little over 2 hours. I'm sure there are things in there that you didn't like. But there are many things that you all have written about us that we don't like. You have been the one making us hate who we are and hate our origin in the world. You're the one that made Tarzan and told us that that's part of us. You've done all of this to us, and we couldn't say nothing. You're the one that made a darky, a little black Sambo, and you made us to see that as who we are. Can't you see that we're tired of that? So because I and others of knowledge are spreading knowledge of God, knowledge of self, knowledge of the time, and also knowledge of an enemy. Because we couldn't be in a condition like this if all of you were our friends. We have enemies, and those enemies have dropped us down in the barrel of waste. We're not around here hating you, but we tell the truth of what we know of what some of you have done to put us in the condition that we're in. Kyrie found something. I want you to say that you sorry for saying something that is anti-Semitic. And he kept telling you, I can't be anti myself. You didn't want to hear that. You know you came from us. You know that you are not the father of humanity. We know our history and we know yours. We don't like what you're doing to Kyrie or to Ye. And when we see how you want to break him, destroy him, to keep him from saying anything that might enlighten our people. Do you know when you mess up his mind like that, he can't play? I saw the man playing ball the other day and he missed every shot, almost. He can't play with his mind in that state. And when his brother Kevin Durant said, I don't like none of this, he's not saying he don't like the movie. He's not liking what you're doing to a man who wasn't doing nothing against you, but searching for greater knowledge. And you decided to break him. You decided to put fear into men like Charles Barkley and LeBron James and other black men who have become rich and powerful. You wanted to say, you were saying to them as you were lynching Kyrie, you all better get the point. You all better get the message.
Wow. That's Minister Louis Farrakhan. Like, he gets invited to nothing. They don't like that man. So, you know, I just like, man, that was real interesting when he came about when he came to his I am watching the whole thing. He said this. Five, what's up, Five? What's going on? Blessings to you, brother. Blessings to see you, man. I'm gonna put the link to that video in here. It's an hour. Yeah, it watched it, but I want to know exactly what did he say. Yeah, the Nation of Islam. Yeah, what did he say that made Kanye say, man, he got upset? So I'm about to watch it again and see exactly what Kanye was talking about. That's some more stuff, man. We have to get off of this, man. We got so much stuff to do, so much stuff to cover. But man, so we got, you know, people saying different things, man. Even him. It was interesting, man. It was an interesting little hour, man. But I mean, everybody talking about it. So now it's saying, go back to sleep. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Don't worry about it. Nah, too late. And you love Yah. What you laughing at? You love Yah. Jason Camphor. Okay. Fahim said I watched it. Okay, yeah. Jason Hostile. Man, what is up, man? What is going on, brother? Blessings to you all day, every day. I'm gonna show this I'm gonna show this article real quick. But it's real crazy because with all of this going on, everybody changing their tunes now. So Silverman, he like, oh, we didn't open up a can. We didn't open up a can, but our ego, right? These are the 6 things. Everybody know about the 6 things he got to do to get back in there, right? $100,000, $500,000, and basically kiss the ring in so many terms, right? $500,000 and go to sensitivity training, and man, he got to do a whole bunch of stuff. So folk was like, nah, man, that's crazy. He already said he was sorry. They didn't like the way he said he was sorry. So now they're like, you know what? I'm not feeling the way you said you were sorry. So what you need to do is I don't even want your money, right? Because it ain't about money. They got money upon money. It ain't about that $500,000. You can't hurt him. He had to sit out the season, I think last year, the year before last, when he refused to take the jab. They said no home games. You can't take no home. You can't play in no home games, right? And then he was like, cool. Then it's like, you know what? You ain't playing no away games either. Go sit down. They just played the brother. Like you ain't, because you know what? There was some people, some players at that time on other teams that didn't take the jab, flying into Brooklyn, playing the game on the floor, and their own person was sitting down while somebody was on the floor or on the other team or on the other staff, did not take it, and they could play and do all what they need to do. But they was trying to tell Kyrie, nah, bro, you straight. You can't do that. Now, this is, he said, Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic, NBA Commissioner Alvin Silver says. Oh, he's saying a different thing now because it's a lot going on, right? Irving, the Nets guard, met with Silver this week after promoting an anti-Semitic film on social media last week. You see that? They still got it in there. Promoting an anti-Semitic film on social media last month. He didn't promote it. He just put I don't know. Silver and Irving's actions were damaging. Silver said Silver said Irving's actions were damaging. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said Thursday that he didn't believe the Nets guard Kyrie was anti-Semitic after meeting with him in person this week at the league's headquarters in Manhattan. He already told you that at the press conference. Irving has been facing backlash for promoting an anti-Semitic film on Twitter last month. We had direct and candid conversation, Silver, who is Jewish, said in the interview with the New York Times, adding, he's someone I've known for a decade, and I've never heard an anti-Semitic word from him. Right. Or frankly, hate direct from any group. Right. In the following phone conversation, Silver had her, whether or not he is Semitic is irrelevant to the damage caused by posting hateful content. Silver declined to elaborate on his meeting with Irving, citing an agreement with him is to keep the details of the conversation private. All right. So that's crazy. So even we always go back to that same argument as far as the music that is stop the screen. Hold on. This is not me. Let me stop the screen. Okay. So the music that's being promoted in our neighborhood, right? The kill music, right? We make it every day. Now, some people might say that's reality. That's where we come from, right? That's what we promote. But sometimes you can't even make therapy music, chill out music. You know what I mean? It changed. And I'm going to talk about that too on my show tomorrow. A lot of y'all know about the meeting that they had in 1990, 1991 with all the records execs where there was privatized prisons going on. So it went from the holding of the state to private people, private companies and corporations and businessmen could own prisons. And so that's they had this meeting. I'm gonna get into that in detail. Some of y'all know about it, but some don't know about it. So I'm just gonna revisit that topic. And they had an increase in a certain style of music, right? It wasn't, partying, it wasn't, all the self-destruction, all the X-Clan, all the PE. A lot of that content was like, all right, we done with that. And then they started getting to everything was Snoop, Dre, everything was after that. It was a certain era. And then so it was one ideology. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so was he. And so a lot of folk was getting killed. A lot of folk was going to prison because you got to feel a prison bed. Every prisoner that you got in your prison, you get so much money. So you got to keep the prison full. So if crime is down, then prison is not going to be full. So then they start putting non-violent offenders in jail, right? The war on drugs and all that, it decimated our community, but that's not the show. We're not talking about that. That's going to probably be on tomorrow's show. But anyway, here's another thing. Even the conversation he had with the Nets owner. Brooklyn Nets owners give statement after hearing conversation with Kyrie. Kyrie's family pulled up to the Brooklyn Nets owner's house and was chatting with him. Brooklyn Nets owners Joe Tsai shared that he has had a productive conversation with Kyrie, who was suspended from the team after he tweeted a link to a film with anti-Semitic message. Tsai tweeted on Friday that he and his wife Clara met with the star guard and his family to discuss the matter a day prior. We spent quality time for understanding each other And it's clear to me that Kyrie does not have any beliefs of hate towards the Jewish people or any group. He said that already. Why you got to rake him over the coals? Look him in the eyes, have a one-on-one conversation with him. Got to apologize again. Put his tail between his legs. The Nets and Kyrie together with the NBA and WBPA are working constructively towards the process of forgiveness, healing, and education. I'll be glad when the forgiveness, healing, and education start in our community. It's definitely time for us to wake up. We needed to start in our community as well. We got radio stations promoting death, and it's cool. We can kill each other on their song, drill music, very popular. Drugs, alcohol, sex, y'all know it. I'm not condemning nobody, but I'm saying we don't own the radio stations. The record execs, they let us promote it in hopes of being killed or go to jail. What if you own a funeral parlor and a private prison? It don't matter what happened to you, I'm getting paid. So if you get killed by trying to act out the songs, then I get paid. If you go to jail by trying to act out the songs, I'm getting paid. Millions, billions of dollars off the back. They're sending their kids to private school off our destruction, off of our drama, off of our trauma. They don't want you to talk about it. You talk about it, you're anti-Semitic, right? If you do your research, you'll see who owns what, right? Like Kanye showed, he said, yo, everything in red, there's a certain people that own that. So that's not anti-Semitic for calling out the truth. They don't want light shined on the truth. They don't want the light shine on the truth in those areas. That's hateful and hurtful to our community, right? If you only got one type of music, right, being played over and over and over, then you sign a contract, you can't leave until that contract is up. I've personally know of some people who wanted to do some music and was like, man, I want my album to go this way. They like, nah, man, we want some raunchy stuff. We want some of that gangster, you know what? Come on, bring it. We need that essence of that. Well, I don't know, man. I feel as though, nah, we ain't actually how you feel. I need to make a songs like this. Nah, man, we don't care. All right, then we'll bet then. Your album is getting tabled, what they call it, tabled. Well, that's what they used to call it back in the day when I used to do music. We're going to table your album, right? And everybody else, their singles going to come out. They're going to be pouring bottles in the videos and everything, right? While you just sit there. Your joints just sit there. Your material getting old, it ain't fresh, it ain't relevant until you submit, until you comply, right? To what we want. And then you would think if I'm a business owner and say, hey, babe, I own these, I work with these artists. Check out some of their music. They said that they would not even let their children listen to their artist music. I'm going to say it again. They said that they wouldn't let their children and grandchildren listen to their artist music. Are you ashamed of the content? Are you ashamed of what's being said and done on the songs? Why won't you let your family members listen to the music? It's a product you came up with, right? If I was the CEO of an orange juice company, I'm bringing cases of orange juice home, right? Potato chips or cereal, I'm bringing that stuff home. It's my product. My product is weaponizing the so-called African-American man, right? And I don't want you to hear it. I don't want you to know what I do. But you driving the freshest cars and going to the finest schools. That's crazy. That's sad. So that's what he tweeted. Sy had publicly criticized Irving last month after the guard shared a link to a film titled Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America on October 27. The team owner tweeted that he had been disappointed in Irving's apparent support for the film. support for the film. He didn't, and that he intended on having a conversation with him about how hurtful his actions were. Is Kyrie 10 years old? Is Kyrie 10 years old? He's not 10 years old. He's not 10 years old, y'all. Okay? Irving faced wide backlash over the purse. Last week, he announced in a joint statement with the Nets and the Anti-Defamation League that they would each donate $500,000 towards organizing work to eradicate hate. That $500,000 need to be pumped into our community. Matter of fact, more than that. But you can start with that. Switching the tunes on the radio stations, making a variety of songs, and starting with that. Our community is decimated. It's you can go to any community, it is messed up. But Irving faces further backlash for not explicitly apologizing in the statement. So they don't like the way he apologized. You don't sound remorseful, right? I don't like the way you apologize. That wasn't good enough. I don't even want your money now. I would rather have you apologize and do this list of 6 things. You know. He was also criticized for not offending a clear apology letter asked by reporters if he was sorry. Is Kyrie 10? Kyrie is not 10 years old. The guard then eventually posted an apology on social media the night of November the 3rd, hours after the Nets suspended him from at least 5 games without pay. They suspended this man 5 games without pay and was about to take another $500,000. He's worth $90 million. So if he walk away tomorrow, I mean, he have a lot of game in him, but if he walk away tomorrow, his kids can live comfortably unless they crash the dollar. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver told the New York Times in the interview published Thursday that he was sent to direct the candid conversation with Irving. All right, but then that's going into the other thing. They go into something else. But Kyrie is not 10, y'all. Kyrie is not 10 years old. Go in the corner. It just feels so. That man is not 10 years old. And so I'm glad that different types of people stood out. I'm glad that different types of people, different voices stood up. Y'all be quiet when we give y'all the public whipping, or you're going to lose your Gatorade deal, your Nike deal. You're going to lose some games. You're going to lose your EA Sports deal. Is that stuff that, I mean, I guess it's some bread. I ain't hating on their bread, and I ain't hating on how they feed their family. But is it worth being emasculated? That must be some good money, bro. To see them do your brother wrong and say, shh, I ain't saying nothing. I don't want to lose my Sprite. That's terrible. So I got 40 comments in here. Let's see. Kyrie Irving can still hoop for Big Baller Brand and still make pay. Hey, I was just talking about that too. Big Baller Brand. We don't even hear nothing about Big Baller Brand no more, man. That man was trying to get, and shout out to him, the father, Father Ball, for trying to. He got 3 sons put in the NBA, right? And he was trying to do his own. Now his shoes was kind of expensive, so I don't know why he jumped out. I think there was like $400 or $500. Put the price of those shoes in the chat. Man, them shoes was woo. They was up there. But he was in the right direction. Like, yo, we don't need to do Nike. We don't need to do Under Armour. We don't need to do Jumpman. We don't need to do Adidas. We can come up with our own. Because if your son, get to the NBA and he balling out, right? Morant or somebody, Fox, right? Devin, your son ball out. And he wears some, he could come out, he could do a deal with New Balance. Spot built. I'm dating myself. Some of y'all know about that spot built. Anything. Bring Pony back. And if your boy balling, your son balling out, your nephew, your whatever balling out, they gonna buy it. Remember, Converse was was dead in the water. All we had was the Chuck Taylors. But who brought that back? Bird, Magic, and Zeke. I'm dating myself again. Bird, Magic, and Zeke brought the Converses back for a second, right? So I'm telling you, we got to hit them back where it. Okay, I'm gonna read some of these comments. J High Style, we got to hit them back in their pockets. We can all say and boycott. And then look, my cousin, shout out to my cousin Jason Turner. He was on the phone with me not too long ago, about a couple of days ago. He said, "What if they stood in solidarity with Kyrie and said, no, sir, that Thanksgiving game, that Christmas game, that big headliner matchups y'all be having on Sunday, we ain't playing. Straight up and down. We gonna put our suit on. We ain't coming to the floor. We ain't playing at all. We ain't playing at all. We gonna sit down. I'm hurt. We ain't playing. What would happen? I didn't say the whole season. I didn't say a quarter of the season. They don't like this talk either. What would happen? My Chromebook is on 8%. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this going on. They trying to hold on. 8%. My joint's about to die out. There we go. Let me see. All right, there you go. Ghetto Fabulous Elephant Man podcast. What would happen? They would lose serious revenue, y'all. They would lose serious revenue. I'm telling you. They would lose serious. They don't want this kind of talk. Shalithia 51, blessings. Shalom. Shalom to you. Shalom. Pissy Lola. Shalom. Rohan, blessings to you. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, brother. Then a couple of people came in while we was chat. Oh, Lynn Bernard. Shalom. Shalom to you. Blessings to you. Who else I miss? If I'll come back. But man, they would lose a lot of money, y'all. They would lose. The thing is, being I want to say 85, I'm sure. I want to say 90% consumer and not a producer. When you say boycott, it's very difficult. I mean, the game is different, but it's very difficult because you don't have your own setup, right? So that would make it Nicole Marie, shalom, blessings to you. That would make it very, very difficult, right? So I'm gonna present this other thing. Even Nick Cannon chimed in on it, and they was like, "Man, Nick need to be cool, man, because Nick this, that, and the other." But he started talking about buck breaking. They don't like that. And do you think they really know what buck breaking mean? Because some of them be acting like, "What's buck breaking?" They ain't read the slave books, right? The atrocities, right? The sensitivity. They need sensitivity training for our community. People go blackface, on Halloween, and you name it. Even still in Spain, some customs and stuff. The world needs sensitivity training for. We just got to take it. I said I was sorry. I'm sorry for calling you a nappy-headed hoe. Nah, bro. Sensitivity training for you. Howard Stern, get on there and be comfortably say the N-word, the byword. No, bro. Sensitivity training. Right? It ain't the same. It's different. Right? Check it out.
Has now spoken out in his defense. During a conversation with the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, Nick Cannon would discuss Kyrie's comments and why they were considered anti-Semitic.
Oh, wait a
now,
minute.
if
It's
you
not
remember
playing,
several
y'all.
years ago, Cannon found himself in trouble after a conversation with Professor Griff, which led him to being labeled anti-Semite, just like Kyrie is being labeled now. Today, we have our comedy hype analyst, Pierre, as well as Capone, call into the studio, along with our research analyst, Danielle Miller, to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
I can wholeheartedly say I know Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic.
When given the chance to say, are you anti-Semitic or not, he didn't say, no, I'm not anti-Semitic. Tell us about that movie, why he did. He said, stop dehumanizing me. And the movie is saying white Jews invented the Holocaust and 6 million Jews didn't get killed. Okay, I know that isn't right. Jewish people know when you dehumanize us this way, we know what's around the corner.
So in that same statement as those are the tropes that dehumanize Jewish people, the same buck breaking.
What's that? I don't really know what that means.
The slave masters would bring the buck, the one that gets out of line. So all the other slaves would see lash after lash, show them the power to set an example. This is what you must do to fall in line. So when we see the 6 things that Kyrie must do to get his job back, that's dehumanizing.
Now, there's a couple things we're going to break down there. But first, of course, I want to get your reaction, but also, ask the question, do you think it's smart for Nick Cannon to be speaking out in Kyrie Irving defense, being, the past that we have seen with Nick Cannon? Pierre, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on that?
I just wish that we would hold other people accountable in the same position when they do us that way. I don't know how we can't get together and make them apologize. I don't, we're asking them to apologize for something they did wrong. Sure. That video is out, has some unfactual stuff in it. Even Kyrie admitted to it, just in case they're on the comments. Well, he admitted there was some unfactual stuff in there. And he apologized for supporting something that was unfactual, but some stuff was factual. Well, where's the same thing when we get put in the same position? When someone puts something out about us and it's not factual, where is our come together to make that group or situation apologize for that? That's what I had.
Absolutely. Capone, let me bring you in and get your thoughts. What's your reaction to that video? But also, do you feel it's smart for Nick Cannon to speak out in defense of Kyrie Irving?
I agree with Pierre on that part. Definitely he should, Nick Cannon, like he said, experienced it. So it's a good thing for him to say it. But it's amazing to me that the same things that they accuse us of doing, they don't know anything about. Like when he told them about the buck stuff, I don't know what that is. Tell me about it. You don't read history? There's no history about us. It's just about what is important to y'all. And so with that being said, then maybe if they did a little research about what we hurt when they say these things about us, then maybe there would be a little bit more sympathy about the things that they said and stop pointing the finger so easily.
Danielle, let me bring you in. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. What's your reaction to the video? But also, do you feel it's smart for Nick Cannon to, come in defense of Kyrie Irving?
I think that was a dope point Capone made at the fact that he didn't even know what buck breaking was. And what I would have liked to seen from Nick is actually him admitting that he was in that buck breaking situation as well, because they made him apologize, or else you wouldn't get your show, because they pushed back the airing of his show back in 2020 to 2021 as they reviewed his actions. They also put Wildin' Out in jeopardy, which puts in jeopardy the livelihood of many cast members and crew members of Wildin' Out as well. So I'd have loved to hear him first say that he was in that position, and then also go into detail on exactly how he felt being in that position and how he felt being humiliated as well. And his situation was much more unique than Kyrie, because again, with Wildin' Out, there's a lot of people that depend on him for an income. They depend on that show for an income. They look at him as the face. So that would have just been interesting to me to play more with that dynamic and more to the conversation. But Capone made a great point in terms of how, he didn't even know what buck breaking was. Is it right for Nick to speak out in Kyrie's defense? Is it smart for him to speak out in Kyrie's defense? Sorry, that was the question. I think I agree with the two gentlemen, because he's already been there. He knows both sides of the spectrum. I think he would be the best person to advocate.
Absolutely.
And let me ask.
All right. I'm gonna put the link to that, and because there's a lot more to it. It's very interesting. I think they know what buck breaking is. I think they, what's that? I think they know. I'm gonna put the link to that video so y'all can finish watching it if you want to. I think they know what bug breaking is, man. But they just, I don't know. Because how you gonna hide history and trip when we find out about history? It's just weird, man. But I want to know about the falsehoods, right? Okay, we can say hate, but I'm going to, what falsehoods? You know, shout out to brother Rondell Jr. Down in South Africa. I want to know what the falsehoods are, right? Excuse me, because to us, it's like, and then even when Pastor Kelly said, he was quoting their sources, their books. He was just quoting stuff, material that was already out. And he did the research, he did the work, and he put it all together. And then it's just like, oh man, this is some falsehoods. You know what I mean? And I think they might have came to Rondell himself and say, you know, take your film down. And it's got a lot of nerves, man. They do. They believe they are Israel? Israel. Okay, yeah, that's a big. This is very important question, right? So it's gonna be falsehoods because if you don't believe that you're Israel, then it's gonna be like, oh, okay, it's a black film, I support it, but that, there's some falsehoods in there, or they're offended by the things in the Word, right? They don't believe the Bible, they don't read the Bible, so there you're gonna be like, man, you know what? We ain't with all that Bible stuff. It's a lot of us that don't believe, and that's one of the things about Psalm 83. I'm gonna cut them off from being a nation. Just like, man, we don't know who we are, where we come from. Look here, you Toby, you're not Kunta, because Kunta connects you. Well, this is a movie, but it still had a point to it. Kunta connects you to a place. It connects you to a space. It connects you to an identity. It connects you to a purpose. His parents said, look, you are Kunta Kinte. It was I'm talking about the Roots film. And then they said, no, you are Toby. You are Toby. And they whooped him and they beat him and they beat him and they beat him till he said, oh, man, okay, I'm Toby. And even today, we get the slave masters' names. We Johnson, we Jackson, we Green, we Brown, we Smith. And if any of them is your last name in the chat, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general what's going on. The majority of Jews are atheists. Ooh, dang! I said that out loud. I'm reading it out loud. Ooh, fair use. They better not take my show down. Okay, but playing on your emotions, right? Playing the role, the nut role, playing on your emotions. Thank you, you love Yah. It's very interesting. They know. They want us to be able to, okay, what is it? You know what I mean? But like they said, man, when we reading what was not factual in the movie, that's my question. So now I got to go look at it again and fine-tooth comb it. I don't want to be biased, y'all. You know what I mean? Being Israel. But at the same time, if I get a source from a book or a scholar or encyclopedia and you put it out, you publish it and say, hey, this is it, right? And you didn't even not know that your own words or your own whatever could be used against you. You know what I mean? And it's like, how can you quote a source and then it be anti-Semitic or hate speech or whatever? Interesting. I'm gonna try to show one more video and then we're gonna get out of here because we at the hour mark, and you know me, I don't like to do hour videos over too long. But I want to show the thing about Kyrie. Again, he has some new age things on his stuff. The Most High do the foolish things to confine the wise. He's trying to find it, this space, right? And that's why the words say one man plant, one man water, but Yahweh will give the increase. And so I'm praying that he have solid elders around him that's going to lead him into the truth, because there's been a lot of new age stuff put into the word, a lot of stuff added and taken away. And the awakening, like I was telling Elder Lou, the awakening brings restoration, right? So it could be 400-year tradition. The church fathers did this and that. Okay, well, We go back, research history, and be like, okay, that had nothing to do with the Most High. We should pitch it. Period. We should pitch it. Oh man, you're a heretic. No, because I would listen to the Father, the Most High, instead of the Church Father. And I'm not making all Church Fathers bad. I'm just using that as an example. If we've been following a tradition for 300 years in the faith, 400 years, and then we get this awakening, and then the Most High show us something. Hey, you know what? This, that, and other. This was fulfilled, but this over here was never done away with, and we embrace Babylon and their holidays. But then we say, but look, we ain't got to acknowledge the things that are Most High that was important to Him. These different feasts that was important to Him, and they're gonna be reinstated and done for the millennial reign. We ain't got to acknowledge Him right now, though. We got to be taught that, right? We prophesy in part, we preach in part, we get it. We in Babylon, we scatterbrain. But what's wrong with it? We're not saying mandated, but you want His kingdom, but you don't want the things of Him and His kingdom. That's just, it's weird. So I'm gonna show this video with Kyrie again. He's not the spokesperson of, the people. Most High is, but it's just very interesting. A lot of y'all seen this too. He said a message to the powers that be, and he's talking to the younger generation. Don't back down, is what he's saying. Here you go. Play part of it.
To our ancestors for healing. We all need it about now. They call this the Lord's Day in certain religions, certain parts of our society. So I'm gonna pay my respect and my homage. But shoot, what do I have to tell y'all? Y'all making me forget. Nah, I'm joking. I'm just trolling y'all. But shoot, I gotta share something with y'all. It ain't no bad news or anything like that. It's just a reality, right? And I'm gonna ask y'all from my soul to yours, please do not get distracted out here. Please do not fall victim to what the system is putting out there. It's a lot of misinformation. It's a lot of trauma going around. It's a whole lot happening in our world. And the system wants you to be depressed, wants you to be in a state of being that is low vibrational. All right. It's a change and it's a shift in what's going on in our world right now. And I'm letting you know, I'm not being arrogant or anything like that, but from 1981 to 1996, this millennial generation, I hope y'all know, we're here to shake some shit up. We're here to shake some stuff up. But in order to shake some stuff up, right? And the next generation, Gen Z, is going to come right after us. So they're watching us, right? Then you got my kids' generation, which is very young. But I got on here to say this. Please do not get distracted out here emotionally, spiritually, because the system itself is, is dying. Is dying. Old ways of living, the old ways of doing things. It's not going to last for too much longer, y'all. I'm just saying. And I don't know anything, right? I don't know all the answers to what's going on, but I'm saying this to y'all specifically because it's important that those that understand, that are aligned and what's going on around here, that y'all paying attention, because without us making a change right now and shifting our consciousness, our kids they're gonna fall victim to this system too. And the system I'm talking about it's a myriad of objective topics that we follow since we were kids, which is sex, love, relationships, religion, culture, class, finance, entertainment, media, social platforms at this point. Please do not fall victim to these things that are being manipulated and controlled. Please do not. Please do not. We have so many truth tellers out here that are doing the right things. And I could point them out, but you have to have your own level of discernment once you're consciously awakened to what's really going on. And I could go on and on, but look, I have to speak in general topics because it gets too mixy You know what I'm saying? But I hopped on here specifically to share something with y'all. My generation, the millennial generation, we got to be better. We got to be better. My millennial generation, we got to be better. We know too much of the truth. And sometimes that will put us in places where we're fearful or we have anxiety. And in order to make an impact out here that is generationally sound, where it lasts for not just one generation, but for 7 to 10 to 20 generations now, we have to break free mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to do it, but we have people out here that are willing to extend a helping hand and do it, you know? And I went live on this main page because I know that, you know, some people are going to take this as, oh man, this guy's, what is he talking about now? This guy thinks he's, and it's like, it's not even about that. I don't even have energy to give that to, or to give to that today, you know, or any point in my life. But I will tell you this, we got to be better. We have to protect our youth. We have to protect our ways of life. We have to protect the kids that are looking up to us. So my millennial generation, this is a call out to you. No, real talk. This is a shout out to you. As Gen Z's watching and our older generation is waiting for us to take control of the wheel and lead our world into new places, new ways of thinking, because it's not happening, you know, without the proper techniques and strategies. It's not happening if we're not prepared. So, you know, and I say my generation because the millennial generation is because we help create a lot of these social platforms. We help create a lot of these trends. We help create a lot of these, you know, new waves of doing things. Like, I'm not saying that arrogantly, but from 1981 to 1996, this is specifically for y'all.
All right, man. So I didn't want to get into the whole video because I did post it. It's 27 minutes long. It's very, very interesting, man. It's very good. It's a call out to the younger generation and the people that look up to him. You know, again, this is the reason why, you know, one man plant, one man water, but Yahweh will get an increase. So of course we don't want new age stuff, but in the same time, he said some interesting points as far as we got to get better. We gotta break free. That's what I heard. He was saying we gotta break free, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. We just gotta break free from it. And basically, that's weird. I don't know if he read that, but it's like, come out of her, my people, right? And it's crazy. We have to really break free from it to be in it, but not of it. Yahusha, we asking Yahusha to show us how to be in it, but not of it, and not love it. You know what I mean? I walk circumspectly. We still live our lives. We still do our things, you know, till he cracked the sky, until the Exodus happened or whatever. We still going to live our life. We're not going to be hermits in an island. I like what somebody said today. I forgot which I was watching, but I was watching the live, and it said we cannot be, what they say? They said we cannot be salt and light in isolation because it's just salt and light, but just we're not impacting nobody, right? And so even with those conversations I had with our ninth graders, they really, really, really genuinely, honestly want to know, okay, what you stand on, what you standing on, why is all this happening to Kyrie? We watch him hoop, right? We see all of the different things, what's going on. Now, I can't give all the answers, but I can give some answers, right? And even as scripture say, Ruach will give you this what to say in the same exact hour when you ask him. But you know, if it's in you already, it can come out. And so we have to do better. We got to protect our women. You know, that's very weird. If you think about it, look at what's going on. And it's nothing against our sisters. I love strong black women and all that. You know, how they empowering the women to be women king. And I ain't seen the Black Panther yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow. But they're emasculating the men. Tuck your tail between your legs and be emasculated. I'm going to empower the woman. But what that does psychologically is say, man, this man can't take care of me. the buck breaking whole thing. This man can't take care of me. He can't rescue me. He can't save me. Right? I'm by myself. I can take myself. I'm woman. Hear me roar. And this is no knock on no woman or women. Right? We got to protect our women. But if we're not looked upon as a provider, as a protector, you know, as a breadwinner, then they're gonna like look somewhere else. I could do it myself, which no one can do it themselves. No one can pull it up by their own bootstraps. Somebody is helping, right? Even with the welfare system coming up, it was like, yo, we gonna help you as the government, but you can't have him in there. Like he can't come up in there. We can help you, but you can't have no car, no piece of car. None of that. We can help you, but you can't have A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Well, how am I going to ever climb out this hole? So I'm perpetually dependent on you in that state, or you give me a position. And others, I'm not saying I didn't earn it because I didn't get my degree or whatever. I'll make you the CEO of Maxwell House or something. But then it's like, forget that dude. Subconsciously, I did all this by myself, single parent, blah, 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 blah. And y'all not coming together and y'all not working together. So one of the things I got when he was saying was, we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to come together. We need each other, right? It ain't a thing of being weak. It ain't a thing of forget you. We need each other, straight up and down. We need each other. Everybody else work together, but ours is the most divided. We're divided. So I just believe persecution will increase, which will drive us together. And it ain't gonna be no, hey, I want to link arms with you, but I want to know, are you Kemetic? Are you atheist? Are you, what are you? Did you get baptized right? Did you your hat broke to the left, your hat broke to the right? What's going on? You ran blue, you ran red. Man, look, it's gonna be like, yo, we out here bad. We need to come together. And that's why I say guilty by affiliation, association, or nation. Whether you say you're the nation of Israel or not, you're going to get treated as such. And you can't distance yourself from it. Like, you know what? I ain't none of that. I ride a good car and I live in a better neighborhood and I ain't on that. I'm going to be a gatekeeper. Give me some bread. Give me some political position or whatever. And I'm going to be paid. I ain't like them. Nah, don't think that. Don't think that you on the team. Don't think that you're on the team. Straight up and down. You're not on the team. Right? So you gotta have autonomy and you gotta bring something to the table. Right? If they don't want you at their table, you gotta build your own table. You have to build your own table. And come to the people that's supposed to be at your table will be at your table. Period, point blank. So to say I'm distancing myself from it, that does not mean that you're not gonna catch them hands. You're gonna still catch them hands. Because you might not know who you are. You might denounce who you are. You might sit and be like, I'm gonna assimilate. But when it comes to it, you're still gonna get them, you're still gonna get what you need to get. So I'm saying, might as well run with the Most High. Might as well run with the things of the Most High. Might as well, I mean, don't tuck it away. We got some UA community people working hard to denounce, and then you got the left. They working hard, right? They want to put their suffering over what you've been through while contributing to your suffering. Then you got the right, like, man, we love this place. We built this whole our own little kingdom here on earth. We don't want to change nothing. We like the narrative. We don't want no CRT to control our narrative or change it, even if it's the truth. We don't want nothing to come change. We good. We good with Abraham, Lincoln, and George Washington, and Ben Franklin, and all these other guys. We like the way that story is told. It benefits us for a season. Well, they think for life, but it benefits us, right? But Jeremiah 16:19, you have inherited lies. So I want the truth, even if it's painful, so I can begin the healing process, so I can begin the repentance process. Don't feed me no lies. because it strokes my ego and it helps me out for a season in my flesh. That ain't it. That's not it. So I'm gonna read these comments and get on up out of here because we really went in. Soraya, Shabbat Shalom. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. All right. So Elephant Man Podcast Network. Hey, go ahead and check and see if your notifications on. Make sure you subscribe. In the comments, I put the IG, I put the Facebook in there. Swing on by the Facebook page. Put a nice comment in there. Something encouraging to everybody in there. And then also share. If this blessed you, share. Right? So Elephant Man Podcast Network. Oh, what's this coming on right here? Oh. Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversation, dealing with elephants in the room. I am out. Perfect.